Hi guys, it's Jen here doing my video for today. This is going to be a little bit different because usually I show you a completed layout or project life, and today I'm going to show you a project that I'm just starting and how I'm doing it. And this is for my challenge today up on the Victora Marie Facebook group. This is my last challenge as a design team member. So I wanted to say thank you to Victoria for having me on the design team. I really loved it and can't wait to continue playing along with the new design team in January. So my challenge for you today is to use the new with the old. And I'm not a real stickler for forcing people into a box or into rules. So if you want to switch it around and do old with the new, you know what, go for it. But my challenge is to use brand new photos, like as new as you can, like get them scrap photos with old supplies. I'm kind of on a spending freeze. I do get one kit a month, but I haven't gotten my my Christmas kit yet. And so I want to use up old Christmas stuff, because who doesn't have old Christmas stuff, right? But if you want to do Thanksgiving or you want to do some different holiday, do whatever, right? But this is this is my challenge, and you use it to make it work for your stuff, for your photos. So what I wanted to do was document our elf this year. I always document it, but I want to do something a little bit different this year. So what I'm going to do is just a project lifestyle where I can tuck the photos in. It's gone through a couple different morphs, and I was just going to show you really quick. And then I'm also going to show you really quickly how I actually store my holiday stuff. And then I'm going to get down to actually doing as much of this as I can, being that this is actually the morning of December the 4th. So I wanted to make it really current, to show you that I'm actually following the letter of my challenge, and I'm doing this really new. One of these photos is actually, I took it this morning and I'm doing it right now, and it's like 8 o'clock in the morning or something here. So hopefully I can get this done really quick and get it up for you guys. But the challenge is already up on the board. So what I started out with was the idea to do portrait photos for each, and I pulled out 2 page protectors because I'm going to have 25 photos, and so just this one page protector, this is a design F, only had 20. So I've also pulled out this design H as well, so that I have enough for each one of the photos, and then there'll be a couple spaces that are just fillers, which is just fine. It makes it look nice. So that was the plan for that. And then I'll save you one. Hopefully it's not too glary. It's kind of a gray, yucky day outside. I had started out with the idea of just doing this and then, putting something behind it and writing in some journaling. And so I actually had printed off all 4 of those. And then while I was sitting waiting for my kids to get out the door so that I could come down here and do this, I had the idea to do it in the Collect app. So I'm hoping you can see that. So in the Collect app, it puts the date on it, and you can also put in your journaling. So I thought that would be awesome. I'm still going to have to mat it on something because I'm using my selfie, so it's never like perfect size. And then what I did is this is the selfie with the borders on, and then this is what happens if you take the borders off. I've just trimmed the edges off, so a little bit bigger. So that's what I'm going to do. It cut off a bit of the top, but that's fine. So just describing all of that, and I'm going to really quickly here show you this binder. I'm standing up and hopefully I can get this. Okay, so this is just a great big 12 by 12 We Are Memory Keepers binder. I don't even remember why I bought these originally, but what they ended up being is binders for my page protectors, and then I have this holiday binder. So what I've done is I've used divided page protectors, just like extra ones from Project Life, and I take the holidays that you don't use very much and I wouldn't mix in with my regular stash in here. So this is obviously my Halloween stuff. So I've got all of that kind of stuff. So there's die cuts and flare and ribbon, and then I have a big 12 by 12 one, and this one actually has a little flap on it, which is nice too. And I've had the paper in here too, because I do my paper by color, so trying to find Halloween stuff would be really hard. And then this is my Christmas stuff. So I actually have this great big one, and then I have another one that's, what would that be, 6 by 12, and then I have one for all my paper, and then this is a die cut sheet that I've tucked in there as well because it was too big. So as you can see, this is some birthday stuff. I have Disney stuff in here that I've bought. I have a little bit of school stuff in here, and that's it. So that was all that polling stuff. I just shoved that in the back because it was kind of random stuff from one layout that I did and didn't use up. So I just wanted to show you that's what I do. It's a method that works really well. It makes it really easy for me to find this stuff come that particular holiday season. And so I am going to have this out and try to use this stuff up. So I'm going to put you on fast forward now and do all the prep for this and do the 4 photos that I have so far this month.
Okay guys, here I am getting going with this. So I have already printed off, as I said, the first 4 days of December for our elf. I'm going to try to keep it simple for myself. I'm going to do them all portrait, and I'm going to do them all, put them all into the Collect app and print them off 2 at a time, so every other day on my selfie. So for this first page, it's kind of like a little title page. It's a smaller insert just because I wanted to be able to get all my photos in, so I needed a little insert in addition to a regular 12 by 12 size. And I'm just using scraps, so that Christmas paper, well, they're all Christmas papers. The Christmas tree paper, I had just enough to make 4 4x6 cards out of it. So I'm going to use that as the theme kind of running through. It's going to be on each one of the 4 sides, just to kind of try to pull it together, because I'm going to be using leftover stuff from tons of different collections, all different years. Some of the stuff is super old, some of it's from last year, some of it's from a couple of years ago. So I just thought it would be good to use that, and then I can use that sort of as the inspiration for my colors as well. It also happens to match a lot of the Christmas decorations in our house, because my living room and stuff, where most of the decorations are, it was blue and green to start with, and then I just add red in Christmas time, and I love that. It's awesome. Actually, I kind of almost miss the red the rest of the year, so that will help me kind of make it a bit more cohesive, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. So what I'm doing is my journaling is going to go across 3 pages. I'm just explaining the elf and how he kind of came to be, and then what we're doing this year. And I just decorated a little bit on the bottom there, put a little vellum tag, and just adding some of the blue and the green, or sorry, the red and the green down on the bottom there. I put my December 1st photo just on a 3x4 card, so there was, because it's not quite big enough, and then I had that wood card, Project Life card. I think that's about 2-3 years old, from a Scraptastic kit, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% sure though, because as I said, everything just goes into pockets, and then my leftovers from this year will do the same. They'll go in here, and so then it's hard for me to know. Like, some of them you can kind of tell what manufacturer they're from. Like, I know that bottom card is the Nelly Studio because it's easy to tell. But other than that, I don't know. I don't try to keep track. So I just added a doily on here to have sort of a nice landing spot for my title. And my title is basically just going to be the name of our elf, which is Fox. And while I'm farting around with these, these stickers, which I do for a little bit here. Should have edited this part out, but I want to get this video to you really quickly. We ended up naming our elf Fox because the year that we got the elf, that song, What Does the Fox Say? By, what is it, Yelvis or whatever, was really, really popular. And so, I don't know, we were just talking at dinner, what are we going to name our elf? And that song is popular. And we were talking about what is the elf going to do tomorrow? And then it kind of just morphed into, what does the elf say? And then that we should name him Fox. So anyways, that's the sort of weirdness in our family about how we named him. So we just left him as Fox. We thought we were going to change his name every year. But we ended up just leaving him as Fox. Although Sheldon is quite high on my list, as is Dobby from Harry Potter. But we ended up leaving him as Fox. It was just easier that way, I think. So there I've just foxed the elf and I've put 15. I didn't have a 2, so it got 15, and I just put that tag on there to make it a bit easier to read the 15. And here I'm just pulling out some brads. I just felt like I needed to add a little something on the bottom of that card. But for the most part, I'm going to keep this really super duper simple and not make it hard on myself. Just, try to use up some stuff, but at the same time, leave it simple. And you're going to see for the main page, it's going to be uber simple because I'm using this Collect app. So most of the decoration is going on the insert here. So I had this little special delivery die cut from last year or the year before, I'm not sure, and I hadn't used it, so I thought it would be kind of cute to add. Kind of made sense with the elf. You guys probably know if you've watched my videos before, I'm not good at adding random die cuts, although I do try. I'm trying. So I did that, and I just added the little Santa stamp on the side of the truck there to add a little bit of green and just, make it a little bit more Christmassy. And what I did is, I'm actually proud of myself, I had pulled out my Project Life cards, and that pink card works because of the colors in the papers, but it was actually a Valentine's Day card that I'm just covering up where it says Happy Valentine's Day with the little truck. So I was proud of myself for using it because it probably would have sat in my stash for forever. So here out of my binder, I had this full sheet of this really cool paper, and it has most of the colors. It doesn't have the blue, but it has most of the rest of the colors, the pink, the red, the green. So I am going to use that right here for these 2 photos to back them. I just thought it was pretty. And then I'm actually going to use the rest of the sheet on the next page. And you'll see in a minute, I won't spoil it, but I'm going to use the rest of that. So here I want to continue the journaling that I started on the front page, and I'm just trying to figure out what to use for that. So I have that tag there, and that tag has gray. There's not really any gray anywhere else, so I don't know, that tag's going to get shopped around a whole bunch. And then I end up using this green one out of that card tag kit that's just right on the right there, and I'm going to use that sights and sounds, and then I'm going to use that what I actually think is a fairly ugly Santa, but this is about using stuff up, so I'm just sticking that Santa on there. He's not terrible, but I don't know, he's not me. And that sort of Dickens style boy may actually end up in my recycling because I'm never going to use that, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm just going to continue with my journaling here, and I actually will just read some of it to you while I'm doing that. So the front page said, every year for the past 3 to 4 years we've done the Elf on the Shelf. We used to do an advent calendar, and then we moved on to Lego advent calendars, but the boys outgrew that, so we wanted, and then it continues over on this page that I'm writing right now, something different. I saw Elf on the Shelf start up on Facebook and Pinterest, so we combined the chocolate from the advent calendars to moving the elf daily. The first couple of years I did the elf, and then in brackets mom, me, but for the last 2 years Garrett and Connor, which is my boys, hold on, and this is going to move on to the next page here, have also taken turns moving Fox, so that has been really fun for me too. I buy lots of different loose chocolates, so like pre-wrapped chocolates, and they get placed with the elf. It's a fun tradition that we love. So I just wanted to tell the story of the elf a little bit differently this year and sort of explain where he came from and how we do it. So that is actually the photo from this morning. I am very proud of my... Hey, sorry, I'm back. I had to fix a little blip there in the video. So yeah, so here you can see I have used that, oh sorry for the glare, I've used that paper again, and then I cut out a whole bunch of me fiddling around with getting all of those cards in, because for some reason on this page protector it's not quite 3x4. I had to trim the edges off, and I was trying to make them match and all that kind of stuff. So I edited that out because I find that really boring to watch on other people's videos sometimes. It's like watching you pull off the backing on foam squares, which unfortunately you do have to watch. It was too hard to try to edit out. So here I'm using some uber old ribbon, like super duper old ribbon, and oh yeah, sorry, and I have to just fix my tape runner here, and then another this green ribbon, just to, I don't know, fancy up this card. I'm kind of looking at it now and wishing I hadn't put that really wide ribbon on, so I may go back and take it off, but I may not, because like when it's done, leave it alone. So the rest of the journaling is going to go on that card. Oh, sorry for my head there. That card. So I kind of had a bit of a theme too, where I've pulled in a little bit of sort of the wood tan color too, and I will probably go back and sprinkle in a few little wood veneer stars or something like that later on. But yeah, the rest of the journaling is going to go on here. And then the reason why I've just put in the rest of the sheet is this whole front sheet and most of the back sheet are all now just going to be these photos that already have the date and already have the journaling. So I've made it really simple for myself to finish this up. Hopefully I can stay on top of getting these photos printed every 2 days, because they literally this morning did it sitting in a chair while I yelled and prodded my kids to finish getting ready for school. Put your dishes in the dishwasher, go brush your teeth, do this. I just sat in the chair in the living room where I could see them while I was drinking my coffee, and it took me maybe 10 minutes to do all 4 of these photos, and that included using PicTapGo to edit the photos, then pulling them into the Collect app, writing out the journaling, saving them, and then I just put them on in a frame together so that I could print them both, and then I ran downstairs while they were brushing their teeth upstairs and printed them off. So easy peasy. So this is close-ups. Sorry, I'm going super fast here. I should have turned the video off for you just to show you, and then I have some photos as well. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll still definitely be around on the Victoria Marie Facebook group. Bye guys.